Get your head in the game. Hi, welcome to this week's vlog. I'm relationship coach Rick Sodebeer. We've all heard this phrase before, and this week seems appropriate because March Madness is well underway. We shout this at players when they miss a shot or make a mistake. Well, this applies to you too, whether you're dating, in a relationship, or if you're at work. Get your head in the game. Don't just be drifting along through life mindlessly. If you're unhappy or distracted at work, you need to regain focus and figure out why. If you're not happy with your job, what would you need to do to be happy? Is your job not challenging enough for you? Or are you longing to do something else? Do you need to change the department you work in, or do you need to find a job with another company? If you're pointing at problems in the workplace that are outside of you, such as a problem with a coworker or a boss, it's time to start asking yourself a few questions. Is the problem you're dealing with a single incident or a single issue, or is it a recurring problem wherever you go? If this is the first time you've run across this problem, you'll need to look at ways to resolve the issue. It won't get better on its own. You might start by acknowledging there's an issue, asking your coworker or boss if there's something that you've done wrong and what might be done to rectify the situation. Be proactive in dealing with any issue. If your problems seem to happen wherever you work, you need to start looking at what you're doing to contribute to the problem. Why? Because you're the common denominator in all of your problems at work. In fact, you're the common denominator in all of your problems. This is generally very difficult for us to do and very difficult for us to admit because most of us never want to admit that we might be the problem. Do you cop an attitude when someone asks you to do something extra? Do you insist on doing things your way in spite of company policy because you think you have a better way? If this is the case, then maybe you need to check your attitude at the door. Again, be proactive. Ask questions to see if there can be an easy solution. If you're married or in a long-term relationship, getting your head in the game can improve the quality of life for both you and your spouse. Every relationship has problems. Look at your contributions to those problems and see if there are ways to resolve them. One of the best ways to resolve relationship issues is to talk openly and honestly. If you've never had an open and honest conversation with your spouse, then it's time to be an adult and start. These conversations are generally not easy. A key to having an effective conversation is to start with I and not you. For example, if you start out a conversation with, "You're always late," or "You always insult me in front of our friends," you're going to get an argument. You've placed your spouse in a defensive position and the natural tendency is to fight back. To avoid this, you might start out a tough conversation with, "I'm feeling disrespected when you insult me in front of your friends." What you're doing is you're letting your spouse know how you feel when they act in a certain way. Finally, if you're dating, get your head in the game here too. This means knowing what type of relationship you want. Are you looking to date casually or are you looking for a long-term relationship? If your goal is a long-term relationship, make sure you're dating intentionally. As a dating coach, I'm regularly asked if I'm married or in a relationship. When I say no, they tend to smirk a little until I explain that I'm intentional about not looking right now. I have a couple of personal and business priorities that I choose to focus on for the next year or so. When these issues are complete, I will make the time to actively date again. In the meantime, spending some time with friends and an occasional casual date is satisfactory. To date intentionally, you have to be crystal clear about what you want in a relationship and why you want it. You have to know what your deal breakers are. You have to be prepared to be no place else. And that means your phone is off, or at least on silent. Don't have wandering eyes. Focus on your date. Ask open-ended questions to get more than a 1 or 2 word answer. Make sure your date gets to ask you questions also. Don't dominate the conversation by talking about how great you are or how much stuff you have. Make sure you're dressed appropriately for your date. Clothes should be clean and pressed and not look like you just crawled out of a clothes hamper. Use good hygiene habits. While this might seem like a duh moment, you'd be surprised. So as a reminder, shave, shower, and brush your teeth. If you drink a lot of coffee or have had garlicky or oniony foods, use breath mints before you meet someone. Guys, keep your eyebrows and nose hair and ear hair trimmed. The older we get, the wilder these areas can be if they're left uncared for. Get your head in the game. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and it is very difficult to overcome a bad one. Regardless of whether you're at work, in a long-term relationship, or dating, getting your head in the game will help you be more productive, help you keep your relationship fresh, or make dating more enjoyable. That's all for today. If you enjoyed today's video and would like to see more, please go to ricksodabeer.com to find all my other blogs and videos. While you're there, you can find upcoming events. Plus, check out my members-only group, Relationship Insider. Also, connect with me on Facebook at Rick Sodabeer Coach. When you like and follow my page, make sure you click on the See First button to make sure you see all of my daily quotes and advice in your daily feed. Thanks for watching. Have a great and blessed day.